Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum. Why do I bring this up? I bring it up due to the simple fact that we're going into a time in this country and in this world where tyranny is not being hidden anymore. Oppression is not being hidden anymore. The total domination of your personal life is not being hidden anymore. When you look at presidents, CEOs, these globalists, everybody, when you look at all these people, they all have one thing in common. The central banks, the digital currencies. And I understand that this is a war. This is a war for your soul, your spirit, your total control of you as a person. And me as an average, hardworking man that has set himself apart from this system, and that don't depend on this system, I understand full well what's going on. Because a lot of people don't know what it means to be set apart. They don't know what it means to be self-sufficient. They don't know what it means to be blessed in the labor of their hands. They don't know what it means to produce for themselves. And so therefore, they can't relate. They can't understand. But again, me that don't depend on the system. Sure, I use the system wherever necessary, but I'm not dependent on the system. There's a difference between the two. But we clearly see what's going on with the banning of cash, because I deal in cash business. They want to get away from the black market, which the black market to them is some evil thing. You know why the black market is some evil thing? Because it cannot be taxed, it cannot be traced, it cannot be confiscated. And so I understand that there's a war on me personally, and I take all of these things personally because I understand I'm not a second-class wage earner. I'm not a W-2 employee. I'm not an LLC. I'm not an S-corp. I'm not any of these bullshit-ass, piece of shit, garbage-ass things that are used to track, trace, tax, and confiscate your wealth. See, I don't deal in any of that, and this is why the system hates men like me, free men, men that can produce for themselves. So I get it on them full well, and the reason why they want this level of control over people is because, see, absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And what we have is people that has obtained a tremendous amount of wealth off of the backs of you and I. And they flaunt their wealth in front of you, and they want all your wealth, and they want you to submit to them. They want total domination and control over what you eat, where you live, who you marry, how many children you have, where you work, how you live your lives, how you worship. See, a megalomaniac and a narcissist, and this is what they and it's all under the guise of we're here to help you. It's always under the guise of we're here to save you from you. And unfortunately, a lot of people were at the time where the high fructose corn syrup and the aspartame and the fluoride. And have you noticed today on packaging, they have this new term called bioengineered food? I didn't even realize it. I'm looking at these packages. I'm like, didn't you notice? My wife, didn't you notice that this is bioengineered? I'm looking at this stuff and I'm saying, yeah. Because, see, people are so jacked up in their minds that they have to be told what to do. The average person on the street, and it's amazing to look out in Facebook. See, this is why I like Facebook so much. I like Facebook because it gives you a clear and accurate picture of uh, the randomness and how people are so jacked up and so confused and can't come to basic, sensible, logical conclusions when it comes to their life. They can't do it. They just can't do it. I see it time and time and time again. And it's unfortunate that we've come to this point in society where people are so dumbed down, people are so demoralized that you have to have men come in and tell people what to do. I understand that I'm a rare breed. Believe you me, I understand it. When I look at the quality and the mannerisms of my lifestyle, when I look at what I do, how I live, how I produce, I get it. I understand it. One of the things that I never want to do is to be grouped with demoralized people, people that can't lead or guide or direct their own homes, people that can't pretty much plan themselves out of a wet paper bag, because those are some dangerous people. See, these are the people, and see, this is why, again, I don't necessarily blame Klaus Schwab, these people that want to just totally rule over every aspect of your life while they live a lavish lifestyle. Because, see, these people genuinely, in their heart of hearts, believe that they have a divine right to rule over you. They have a divine right. When I tell you the ruler, to tell you where to live, who to marry, who to associate with, where to travel, what to eat, what car to drive. While none of these things they have to follow. See, you see the gag? You see the rules? They don't have to follow the same rules and regulations that they put on you. This is how you know, and this is how you identify tyranny. This is how you do it. Because, see, if somebody's going to put certain restrictions on you, but they don't have to follow it themselves, because, see, they feel as though they have their shit together. You don't. So, therefore, you have to be told what to do. And, again, I look at these things and I realize and I understand why people have to be told what to do. But even in truth, I mean, you look at the spiritual and economic and mental conditioning of the people. Because, see, even when it comes to the truth, the truth movement, the spiritual awakening, you got these people coming out of all of these falsehoods, but their mind is still conditioned according to the ways of this world. And so, I'll give you a perfect example, right? With tithes and offerings. Or I'll give you another perfect example. That's a good example with tithes and offerings. Whether it Christian, Methodist, Orthodox, Hebrew, and they all believe that they should get 10%, or they should get 10% of your cash offerings, and you should give it to them faithfully, regardless of the denomination, and they get rich off of you. And so even in the truth movement, these things can be exploited because, see, there's no fundamental difference between when it comes to these areas. I just now saw out in Nigeria, and they had this post of 10 Nigerian pastors that were fleecing the people, and they were healing in the name of Jesus, right? And they're fleecing the people, and they're getting rich. And I asked myself the question, just like, why is it that every new president needs a new jet? They every once in a while they all get a new plane. Millions millions of dollars of taxpayer, your taxpayer money. And I emphasize your taxpayer money, your hard-earned money, yours. Well, yet and still at the same time, you're poor. Why does a pastor need a Mercedes? Why does a pastor need a BMW? What is the need behind it? Can someone answer me that question? Why does a public servant? Because see, these people are supposed to be there to serve you, right? Right? Aren't they there? They're supposed to be there to serve you, but they serve themselves and their own bellies. Why is it that a president or a councilman or any of these people, why is it that they get into these positions of servitude? Because see, it's supposed to be they're supposed to be public servants, right? See, the president and your councilmen and your bishops and your elders, all of them supposed to be public servants, right? So why is it that after a period of time they all get rich? Was that what the Messiah preached? Was that what the apostles lived? You see the discrepancy? It's amazing. It's amazing. But it's unfortunate because the average person can't think for themselves. I mean, I'm telling you, I see this stuff, whether it's so-called Hebrew Israelites, Christians, Methodists, Catholics, whatever your flavor, your denomination is, the average person is so jacked up in their mind that they can't come to logical conclusions, as they can't plan their own life. So therefore, you have these Klaus Schwabs. Now, I'm talking about at every single level of society. I'll go up to just the very top, which is, the big boys, the central bankers or whatever. They done jack people up so much that they can't think for themselves. So therefore, they have to be told what to do. This is not for the masses of the people. These kind of messages are only for the few, only for the remnant. I saw this video that someone posted that I agree. You want to get free men, learn a real skill. Because see, and particularly for the African American population in this country, we've always, especially after Reconstruction, in Emancipation Proclamation, whatever, after slavery, this is how we did things. We built our own towns. We built. We had real skills. We were self-sufficient. We owned things. Look at today. But this problem is not an African reparations problem. They're looking to enslave everybody. White folk, black folk, Indian folk, Jamaican folk, Haiti. Yeah, look at what's going over in France. Look at what's going over in Ukraine. Those are not white, black people over there getting killed, and in their country being devastated. They don't look nothing like me, but they're under the same oppression, under the same delusion, under the same challenges that the average American is having. I saw this video of a woman walking down the streets in Ukraine prior to the war. And it was like, war's about to break out. And she was like, well, I don't care. I'm just living my best life. See, this problem is global. I wonder where that woman is, whether she got out of the country or she got raped or killed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because, see, this is what's going on. And see, this is the gory picture of what's going on in these countries. These women are getting raped, robbed, killed. And see, it's coming here. And because, see, people at every level of society understand what's going on. So they're implementing their own levels of tyranny on every single level. You see, a lot of people, whether Hebrew or Greek, you're all going into some type of captivity. Why? Because you got no real skills. You have no real assets. You have no real direction when it comes to your life. So therefore, you're going to be told what to do. And you deserve exactly what you get. You deserve exactly what you get. So get comfortable, get real comfortable, because um, uh, soon, in a few years, and many people are already there. Um, you're going to live in slavery and you're going to live in tyranny, and you're going to be told what to do. And that's just how it's going to be. Because, see, I blame people at the end of the day for their own. See, I'm big on taking personal responsibility for your own poor choices and decisions. Me, hey, I've made poor choices. I've erred, and just believe you me, things that I saw. It's like looking at these other sides. Like I should have went left when I went right. Hey, been there, done that, and I take responsibility. And I ain't crying on nobody's shoulder. Um, but it's getting to the point where people are making and has made such dire choices and decisions that they're gonna have no point and they're gonna have no choice. Um, if you can't provide for yourself, see, this is at the end of the day. If you can't provide high housing, food, clothing, and even a woman these days for yourself, somebody will provide it for you, but it comes with terms and conditions. You ever read the law when it comes to slavery? And if your slave master gives you a wife, um, the terms and conditions of that, yeah. See, these things are not being disclosed to you, but you're under. See, whether you like it, understand it or not, just because you're ignorant of the law does not mean you're not going to be held account to it. And see, just like this legalese stuff and all this stuff, these people present things to you from a perspective of it's good for you, but they're not disclosing to you the fine print. This is how they get you. This is how they reel you in. I'll lead it off to say this because I got to get out there and work and earn a living. Um, I don't live off the backs of others. Uh, like your globalists do, like your bankers do, like your preachers and teachers and your pastors do. Um, if you don't know how to produce for yourself, you will be told what you do. You will be going into captivity, um, and deal with it. And deal with it. Be nice and comfortable because you have failed to make the proper choices and decisions to do what you need to do to provide for yourself and your family. I know it's a long video, but it's important. And I don't do these videos for likes, clicks, and shares. I do it just to reach out to a few that get it and understand it. Um, you got to be willing to make the moves. You got to be willing to make the choices and decisions necessary to make things happen. If not, somebody else is going to be more than happy to do it for you. Because see, people like power. It's the ultimate aphrodisiac to tell somebody else what to do. And it's one thing to tell somebody what to do and they enjoy it. It's another thing to tell somebody what to do and instructing somebody what to do because they got no choice. You see the difference? One is based on understanding, like a father and a child. Another is like a dictatorship and a ruler and a slave. Understand the difference between the two. Understand where you're going and where you fit, and accept it. Because at the end of the day, a slave that loves his change has no need to be free.